I want y'all to ask yourself some very simple questions. Who does it benefit that the black community stays divided? Who does it benefit if black men and black women stay attacking each other? Who does it benefit if Africans and African Americans divide themselves from each other? Who does it benefit the young YNs if the young YNs stay unaliving each other in the streets? Who does it benefit if black people continuously participate in white created systems, whether it be political, economical, institutional, religiously? Who does this benefit the most? Because it damn sure ain't us. I would think that these type of things would be common sense. That we continuously obsess over participating in things that have already shown and expressed themselves to be anti-black, anti-us. You go down there to vote, we get nothing in return. You patron all of these designer stores, you buy all of these shoes, these designer bags and watches, you get your lashes done from the Asians, you work for the whites and refuse to work for anybody black. Who does this mindset benefit the most? This is not rocket science. You all want change. It's very simple. As a collective, when we get to a point where we refuse to attack black men, where we refuse to disrespect black women and attack black women, when we refuse to allow our children to be bullied in the streets on their way to schools by gangs, when we refuse to allow YNs to unalive each other, when we refuse to participate in any white created systems in America without any real representation, without any real benefit, then we can make some progress. Until then, we're just going to keep running in circles over and over and over again in circles. Oh, it's going to be a maze over and over and over again. And the place you start is the same place you're going to finish because everybody is running from the same thing, your fear of defending yourself.
In 1971, over 1,200 men at Attica Prison in New York took control of the yard and demanded to be treated like human beings. Most of these guys were black or brown, and most of the guards were white. Conditions inside the prison were violent, crowded, and degrading. The men were fed rotten food. Medical care was limited or completely denied. Physical abuse was constant. They were allowed only one shower a week. They received one roll of toilet paper per month. Religious freedom and reading materials were restricted or completely banned. The thing that sparked the uprising was the murder of George Jackson at San Quentin. The underlying cause was years and years of abuse. The men at Attica created a list of 27 specific demands. They included things like access to education, fair visitation, protection from racial violence, and medical treatment from actual licensed professionals. They invited outside observers, including lawyers, journalists, and civil rights leaders. They remained peaceful and organized while the negotiations began. After 4 days of talks, Governor Nelson Rockefeller refused to visit the prison. Instead, even though talks were ongoing and things were progressing, he ordered a military-style assault on the prisoners. On September 13, 1971, more than 500 state troopers and corrections officers stormed the facility using tear gas and shotguns. Within 15 minutes, they had killed 39 people. 29 were incarcerated men, and 10 were civilian hostages. But every one of the people killed was killed by law enforcement bullets. No prisoners killed any of the hostages. Officials publicly blamed the inmates and claimed they had murdered the hostages by slitting their throats, but that statement was demonstrated to be false. Autopsies showed that all 39 victims died from gunfire from police officers' guns. No officers were ever charged. The state tried to cover up what happened. Tragically, this history is not over. We still lock people in overcrowded cells. We still use solitary confinement as punishment. We still ignore medical needs and fail to prevent abuse inside prisons and detention centers. And now we even profit from all of that. Men in prison must pay up to $15 for a 15-minute phone call. Commissary items like soap, toothpaste, and snacks are marked up as much as 5 times the regular price. Medical visits require a copay, and all of this even though most prisoners earn less than $20 a month. Some prisons charge for email, video calls, or photo messages. Others charge people money to wear an ankle monitor or to be released. The Attica uprising was about more than just prison conditions. It was about basic dignity and the right to be seen and treated as human. That demand has not yet been met. One share shows you care about truth and justice. If you want to support this work that I'm doing, my Ko-Fi link is in my bio and here on the screen. As always, let's get curious.
A happy day in Nairobi, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, a black person, a black American, asked a very important question. And I think I need to ask you that question as well, right? Who does it benefit that the black person is not united? Who does it benefit that the black person is oppressed? You see? That is a very, very important question to ask, because many of us, we tend to forget that. Many of us, we tend to look down upon our own skin folk, right? But I'm telling you that skin folk can sometimes not be kinfolk, right? Yes. Brotherhood is not because you look like my skin. Brotherhood is when we share the same values, right? Right now, I am seated here and I'm trying to contemplate on the question that has been asked by the brother. Who does it really benefit? Sometimes we might be busy fighting our own selves, but maybe there is someone who is causing all this. Maybe there is someone whom it benefits when we fight one another, because there is no unity in separation. There is only division when people fight, right? But who does it really benefit? This is a question that our forefathers, our ancestors, the great black thinkers made us ask ourselves, right? We had Malcolm X, we had Marcus Garvey and the likes. They wanted you to understand your true value. And I'm here asking you that again. Who does it benefit? And how does it benefit them? So without further ado, I want us to dive into this video, get an understanding and a brief history as told by the brother about the condition of black American, who it benefits, and why black unity is as important as never before or as ever before. So let's dive in.
I am only concerned with black opinions on black issues. I don't give a damn about no white opinion on black issues. Why are y'all calling yourselves pro-black, but the only people you talk to about black issues is white folks? Why, whenever we talk about moving forward, the first thing y'all go do is start arguing with a bunch of white supremacists about what's going on in this community, about what we do and don't have, about the past, about anything? Stop. How about this? Try going radio silent on talking to any white supremacist, any racist, white folk in general. Go radio silent on talking to them about issues about this community as a whole. Try that, because when we can get to a point where we can just confide in each other, where we can just depend on each other, where we can just start congregating in public and working with each other, putting money together, when we can start doing this without the contribution, without the 2 cents, without any involvement of any outsider, then we can start making progress. Then we can start making plans. Then things can start coming to fruition. But until then, What the hell's the goddamn point of saying anything? And please stop asking me the same questions over and over and over again. Why in the hell is it every time somebody starts on a pro-black journey, every time there's a pro-black potential leader in this community, y'all ask the same goddamn question every time, and it always gets answered, and y'all don't never answer the answer. Y'all ask, oh, well, what do we do now? What's the solution? What do we do now? What's the solution? I have over 1,000 videos telling you exactly what we need to do in damn near every video. Why are you still asking me what the solution is? Why are you still asking me what to do now? Every person that I know of has presented solutions, whether if it's Dr. Umar, whether if it's Rizza Islam, whether if it's Mark Lamont Hill, whether if it's any of the other laundry list of pro-black speakers that speak on these issues that we have. It's all been presented already. The problem is you, us, we, black people, are scared of each other. The problem is that you, us, we don't want to talk to each other. We don't want to let each other succeed. We don't want to work with each other. We don't want to put money together. We don't want to do anything other than talk. So if you want to do more than that, here's my suggestion for the 55,000th time. In history, it has already been shown and documented. Every time we've built up our own communities, every time we've built up our own banks and pharmacies, we've built up our own neighborhoods, we've built it all up. And in history, what has happened? They've come in and burnt it down. So we got burnt out and never tried again because it takes a lot to build your own from nothing. Now, how about, here's one solution. Build a military first. Who has a large amount of land that we can possibly rent out? Maybe we can get a boot camp going where we can hire myself and other individuals to train a large amount of individuals in this community to initiate said military. That's one solution. Two, for those of you that aren't in Dallas or Texas with me, that are too far for me to work with, do the same thing where you're at. There are other pro-black speakers out here. Now, if you're one of those nitpickers, oh, I don't like him because how he dressed. I don't like him because how he looked. I don't like her because of this. Listen, man, we have pro-black leadership. Y'all just nitpick too much. Y'all just too damn picky. If you're in Chicago, Alabama, New York, Florida, Louisiana, anywhere in the country, build where you're at. Build a small group of individuals, connect with the individuals that are doing the same outside the state or outside your city. Make it a large group of individuals. Then if everybody builds where they're at and we can all put together a large group, we can either A, invest together, B, we can start our own militant force, C, we can do them both.
Look at you looking like before and after. I swear to God, I wish you would try to arrest me. You'd be wearing 3 shoes. 2 on your feet and 1 in your hand.
Slavery shall be abolished except, the key word there is except or unless as a punishment for a crime. That tells you plain and clear. There doesn't need to be a conspiracy. There doesn't need to be a bunch of think tanks on whether it exists or not. Right there in the 13th Amendment, it tells you that slavery is still legal. That's one. Two, empathy and understanding and accountability, responsibility, discipline are things that we are critically lacking in this community. I am not talking about just black women. I am not talking about just black men. I'm talking about the children. I'm talking about our whole household, the way we think, our ideals, our ideology, our habits. Everything needs to change, but we're not allowing ourselves to evolve because we've been conditioned into a state of habit, and it's the worst habits. For example, our spending problem. We complain about this country, that they don't care about us, but yet we're the biggest spenders in this country. Two, the way we treat our children. You all know since you was a toddler, you have been told your skin is ugly, you a criminal, your daddy this, your mama this, that, and the third. You done been hearing it since you was a toddler. So if you know how it feels to be a kid, why are we not sending our children out here in this world with an extra hug, with some extra confidence? We should be overhyping them up. When's the last time you told your child you loved them for real? When's the last time you told your child they was beautiful? When's the last time you broke it down and explained to your, maybe you need to go see a
When I was 14, I read the transcript of Fannie Lou Hamer's testimony at the Democratic National Convention in 1964. After reading this transcript for the first time, it changed the course of my life. And maybe by reading it to you today, it will do the same for you. It begins. Mr. Chairman and the Credentials Committee, my name is Miss Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Rouville, Mississippi, Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stennis. It was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register, to try to become first-class citizens. We was met in Indianola by Mississippi men, highway patrolmen, and they only allowed 2 of us to take the literacy test at a time. After we had taken the test and started back to Rouville, we was held up by the city police and the state highway patrolmen and carried back to Indianola, where the bus driver was charged that day with driving a bus the wrong color. After we paid the fine amongst us, we continued on to Rouville, and Reverend Jeff Sonny carried me 4 miles in the rural area where I had worked as a timekeeper and a sharecropper for 18 years. I was met there by my children, who told me that the plantation owner was angry because I had gone down to try to register. After they told me, my husband came and said that the plantation owner was raising Cain because I had tried to register. And before he quit talking, the plantation owner came and said, "Fannie Lou, do you know? Did Pap tell you what I said?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I meant that." He said, "If you don't go down and withdraw your registration, you will have to leave. Then if you go down and withdraw," he said, you might have to go because we are not ready for that in Mississippi." And I addressed him and told him and said, "I didn't try to register for you. I tried to register for myself." I had to leave that same night. On the 10th of September 1962, 16 bullets was fired into the home of Mr. and Mrs. Robert Tucker for me. That same night, 2 girls were shot in Rouville, Mississippi. Also, Mr. Joe McDonald's house was shot in. And in June the 9th, 1963, I had attended a voter registration workshop, was returning back to Mississippi. 10 of us was traveling by the Continental Trailway bus. When we got to Winona, Mississippi, which is in Montgomery County, 4 of the people got off the bus to use the washroom, and 2 of the people to use the restaurant. 2 of the people wanted to use the washroom. The 4 people that had gone in to use the restaurant was ordered out. During this time, I was on the bus, but when I looked through the window and saw they had rushed out, I got off the bus to see what had happened. And one of the ladies said it was a state highway patrolman, and a chief of police ordered us out. I got back on the bus, and one of the persons had used the washroom got back on the bus. As soon as I was seated on the bus, I saw when they began to get the 4 people in a highway patrolman's car. I stepped off the bus to see what was happening, and somebody screamed from the car that the 4 workers was in and said, "Get that one there." And when I went to get in the car, when the man told me I was under arrest, he kicked me. I was carried to the county jail and put in the booking room. They left some of the people in the booking room and began to place us in cells. I was placed in a cell with a young woman called Miss Everesta Simpson. After I was placed in the cell, I began to hear the sound of kicks and horrible screams. And I could hear somebody say, "Can you say yes? Yes, sir, nigga? Can you say yes, sir?" And they would say other horrible names. They would say, "Yes, I can say yes, sir. So say it." She says, "I don't know you well enough." They beat her, and I don't know how long. And after a while, she began to pray and ask God to have mercy on these people. And it wasn't too long before the 3 white men came to my cell. One of these men was a state highway patrolman, and he asked me where I was from. And I told him Rouville. He said, "We're going to go check this." And they left my cell. And it wasn't too long before they came back. He said, "You are from Rouville, all right." And he used a curse word. And he said, "We are going to make you wish you was dead." I was carried out of that cell into another cell where they had 2 Negro prisoners. And the state highway patrolman ordered the first Negro to take the blackjack. The first Negro prisoner ordered me, by orders from the state highway patrolman, for me to lay down on a bunk bed on my face. And I laid on my face. The first Negro began to beat, and I was beat by the first Negro until he was exhausted. And I was holding my hands behind me at the time on my left side because I suffered from polio when I was 6 years old. After the first Negro had beat until he was exhausted, the state highway patrolman ordered the second Negro to take the blackjack. The second Negro began to beat, and I began to work my feet. And the state highway patrolman ordered the first Negro who had beat to sit on my feet to keep me from working my feet. I began to scream, and one white man got up and began to beat me, my head, and told me to hush. One white man, my dress had worked up high, and he walked over and pulled my dress down, and he pulled my dress back up. I was in jail when Medgar Evers was murdered. All this is on account. We want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hooks because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America? And that is the end of the transcript. We don't get to sit this one out. We don't get to put our heads in the sand. Our ancestors, they went through things that deserve our respect and our discipline in this moment to fight for the life they didn't get to live. I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
You live in a society right now, today, that has no moral compass, no ethics, zero humanity. That's the only way they could do what they're doing right now. That's the only way you could have ICE running around dragging people out of their homes, out of stores, out of their cars. It's the only way you could deny food to children. It's the only way you could pull somebody over in their car, drag them out, and take their lives because you having a bad day. That's the only way that you could go through a neighborhood, drop off some groceries at your local grocery store, and intentionally give people bad food, scraps, your throwaway food, and then go to another grocery store in another part of town and give them your very best. But the reality is, all of this can be changed. The reality is, all of this is a choice. That's what I'm not going to let any of you get away with. Well, it ain't up to us. Yeah, it is. Right now, today, we could band together and feed our children. Right now, today, we could band together and educate our children. Right now, we could band together and educate each other. We could work with each other. We could build institutions together. We can purchase farmland together. We can vote together. We can cultivate new leaders together. We could go out and find all the black nurses and doctors and build more free clinics together. So I don't want to hear about the 92%. I don't want to hear about, well, if you believed in this religion, you'd be fine. I don't want to hear about black men versus black women. I don't want to hear about Africans versus black Americans. I don't want to hear about sexual orientation. I don't want to hear all that garbage, because you know what that is? That's your excuse. And you got the pick of the list. You can pick any of these petty, ridiculous, pathetic excuses for not doing what you are supposed to do in this moment. When everything is crumbling around us, we are supposed to stand up for one another and come together and do what is necessary. As always, I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
There are 42 million black Americans, all descendants of slaves. Did you know that's the same size of population as Afghanistan? There are more black people in the United States than there are people in Canada. Black population is bigger than the population of an entire country. Did you know that there are more black Americans than the average country? Ghana only got 37 million people, 39. Regardless, we overpopulate them. The idea that we are a minority it's meaningless. We're a minority only because we live in a country that takes up 1/3 of an entire continent. There are more Black Americans than there are people in California and Texas. Those are the largest states in America. If Black people all gathered in one place, we could have a small country. We are a nation inside of a nation. We are unlike other minorities because we are all the same. We aren't just a race. We are one culture. We don't come from different nations, different cultural backgrounds. We represent one culture, one identity. Stop letting the diasporic people trick you out your spot. We don't need to look to the diaspora for identities with 42 million strong, bigger than the average African nation, under one tribe. Not segmented people under the guise of a nation, but one people under one identity. We have accomplished more in this nation than fully Black nations with Black leadership. People's opinions about who we are is irrelevant. At this point, 42 million people, doesn't matter what happened 400 years ago. Doesn't matter from the different places we came from. All of that is long gone. The only thing that matters is that we're here now. We're looking to the future that we're about to build. We are in the coming of a Black Renaissance era. It will not be missed because people are looking to the past and to the diaspora for answers when they have none. It's time to let all of that go. None of that.
Now guys, after carefully listening to this video, I think it's high time I share with you my deep critical analysis. We have a face here, not so new a face. What have you understood from all this? What insight can you share with the Black Americans?
I will share with the Black community as a whole. My main lesson from all this that the young man has spoken about is unity among the Black community.
Yes.
Black community, we need to be united because when we are divided, the system wins. And you know who the system is or who controls the system. You know, they like keeping us, the Black community, divided in order for them to conquer us, in order for them to continue the systemic racism, to continue the discrimination of Black people, you know. But if we unite as a Black community, we uplift each other, we stay together, we fight the system together, we are going to go far. We are going to rule the world. We are going to be strong than ever before. So that is my main lesson from all this. Black people, we should stop fighting against each other. We should stop being like criticizing one another or favoring one Black person over the other. We are all of the same blood. We all have the same struggles. We all have the same fights. So we need to be united in order to succeed, in order to grow and rule the world. Yes, we can do this.
I personally agree a lot with you because it has to benefit someone. You see, everything happens for a reason, and even if the reason is not apparent to us, it does not take away the idea that there was a reason behind what just happened, right? The Black people in America, 50 Cent said that he does not go to these designer shops like Louis Vuitton, Nike, Gucci, all that. He said that people are being robbed over there, and you find that most of these are not Black owned, they're other races owned, right? A Black person will find it hard, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying that a majority of us will find it hard to go and promote our very own businesses outside there. We find that I don't know whether it's envy or what, but it's nothing far from envy. Something within the framework, the thought framework of envy, right? So the idea that a Black person, a Black child cannot go to a Black-owned school, a Black child cannot go to a Black-owned hospital, right? We think that we can't make something good out of ourselves. The only good thing that can come is from outside us, right? And I'm saying it is very wrong. It is very, very wrong, right? It has to benefit someone socially. It has to benefit them. They get a social standing. It has to benefit someone politically. They gain a political hold, right? They gain a political privilege above you as a black person. And also it has to benefit someone psychologically, right? Once you control someone's thinking, you control someone's action, right? These are the words of the father of black American history, Carter G. Woodson. And also it has to affect someone economically, black people economically, right? And you find that the poverty gap, or rather the wealth gap between the black and whites, or rather the blacks and all these other races, non-black, is very huge. The blacks are the ones on the bottom line, right? So we are being played, and perhaps we don't still realize that we are being played. A bad game is a game that you play and you don't realize that you are playing it, right? You continue playing until you are told the game is over. And there's nothing that you've come, there's nothing that you've gained, there's nothing that you can say, I gained this after learning this from this. Nothing. Just nothing. So me listening to the brother about America, about the divide and conquer policy, because this is a divide and conquer policy, right? Divide and conquer is you feed a certain thought against a particular people, so that you yourself, you don't have to fight them. They have to fight one another for you, right?
Yeah.
Even here in Kenya, many of us really don't like many of us, right? We tend to always try and go to some shops that we think these people are special, these people are this and that. We don't like ourselves. If you go to these hotels, they prioritize white people.
Yeah.
If you go where? Like, it's not just in the US, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But it's an evil mindset. And a mindset that we need to debunk, right? It's a mindset that we need to remove out of our heads and stick to it, and say we are no longer going to be captives to this thought. We are going to love one another as black people. We are going to support one another. If you go to a house and you find people fighting one another, it's easier for you to disrespect them.
Yes.
But if you go and you find them respecting one another,
You also respect
you
them.
will also respect them. Yes. So go and ask yourself, who does it benefit when we divide? Yes. See you in the next one. This is EFK Original Documentaries. If you like what I do, subscribe. I'll surely appreciate. And see you in the next one.